welcome back, everybody. We're about to hop into our final adventure of the evening, which I've entitled Rainbow's End. But as always, we are going to introduce our heroes first, so let's get down to it. First up, we have the Bone Knapper, Othgarurt Charirgix. Othgarurt, how are you?
I am, once again, very happy to be out of Mira's house.
What, it's a lot over there, is it?
Very messy, very cluttered.
It seemed like you were starting to make some headway, but does it just kind of refill itself up with clutter? I wouldn't be surprised, I suppose.
We cleared many rooms, discovered doors we did not know were there, found more rooms filled with more things.
It's just kind of a loop, I think. I barely understand it myself, but I'm sorry that you've kind of been given this impossible task. But
it does help me relax to stay busy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just kind of therapeutic going through. I like that positive outtake on it. What else do you have going on, Othgarurt? Is that just kind of where all your time has been these days? Have you had any time to work on your craft at all?
Unfortunately not.
Oh dear.
Being so in the middle of such a large city, I have not had the time to properly hunt and acquire strong bones.
The requisite bones. Well, I hope you get a chance to do so soon, be it through Bartholomew's adventuring or just in your own spare time, because, I mean, it's a shame to let a skill like that go unused.
It is.
Othgarurt, welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you, Sky Voice.
Of course. Next up, we have Farzu. There might be a glitch on the screen, Jeremy, if you see it. But we have not Farku, as it says, but Farzu, also known as the Big Boss Farzu, Papa Farzu. How are you, Farzu? It's been a while.
Yeah. The name is Farzu. The Big Boss Papa Farzu.
Yes, yes.
Well, that's my name's definitely the Big Boss Papa Farzu because I'm a big crime boss, and definitely not because I raised a bunch of child soldiers. Anyway.
You always seem to want to change subjects very quickly, Big Boss Farzu, Papa Farzu.
No, what do you mean? How's the weather doing? I mean, what? How's your wife?
The weather is wonderful today. It's actually it's a very pleasant evening here in the land of DnDTime. I can't even remember what we were talking about before. So Farzu, what else have you been up to lately? How's things been?
Oh, hey, look at this amazing trick I'm showing you.
Whoa, incredible! It looks like your hands have these two rings, and then they were just all of a sudden together. I don't understand how you did that.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Next up, we have. Sorry, that one got me pretty good. Next up, we have Elysia. Elysia Silverblood, the Moonborn. Elysia, how are you?
I'm doing good, Pete. How are you?
Pretty well as well. Tell me what's going on with you, Elysia. How are things in the Silverblood household?
Oh, pretty good. I've actually been really busy lately. I've been helping Boop learn how to read. It's a lot more than I expected, but he's making progress. He's already got A down.
You and Boop seem to be getting, or DJ Boop, I suppose as he prefers to be called, you guys seem to be getting very close.
I hope so.
Oh. Now, I don't mean to gossip, but, well, is there any gossip you might like to share?
Maybe, but a lady shouldn't speak of such things.
Very well. If you do not wish to tell, I shall not ask anymore. But, Elysia, what else has been going on? How have your adventures? How's your day-to-day life been?
Pretty solid for the most part. The usual things, helping out the town. Father still seems to be quite distant, troubled. I'm sure everything will be okay, though.
I have no doubt. Your father is a very strong individual. Elysia, it is good to have you back with us once more this evening.
Thanks, Pete.
And, of course, last but not least, the sun's Radiance themselves. We have Sunny returning once more. Sunny, how are you?
Oh, fantastic. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well myself. Now, Sonny, what's going on with you? I know that you've been growing something of a. I don't know if growing is the literal term for it, perhaps, but you've been growing something of a kingdom or a town for yourself.
Oh, yeah. It's great. It's great. We call it Flame Seed Kingdom. It's great. It's gonna be.
Flame Seed Kingdom. Very interesting. Now, where in the land of DnDTime have you been putting this? I know there's some great soil over in the Sacred Vale. Is that where you've been growing, or?
We've been trying there. Yeah, it's going pretty good.
Now, is this a kingdom of all walks, or mostly individuals such as yourself, sunflowers and other kind of florins of your kind living in this Sunseed Kingdom?
Well, we're not just open to just Florence. We have all of the people that you would expect to be growing around, walking around in a prairie or flower field or you know hill.
So, any type of sentient plant, or even like halflings and humans and stuff too.
Oh, of course, and we're also open to little bunnies and
Hmm.
anything like that.
It sounds like a very kind of pleasant community that you're beginning to put together, or I guess community is a small word, kingdom out there. I'm
Oh
glad.
yeah,
I'm glad that things are going well for you, Sonny. It's also good to have you back, just here out adventuring as well. As you gotta always stay sharp.
that's correct. I use a special wheel. It keeps my leaves really nice and pointy. It's helpful.
I mean, you gotta make sure your leaves can cut like razors if necessary. That's everyone should make sure their leaves are nice and sharp. But without further ado, let us begin in a place that you frequent frequently, Bartholomew's shop. As you kind of step in, Bartholomew saying, greetings, adventurers, and it's very good to see you today. It's a beautiful evening, isn't it? And you notice immediately that Bartholomew seems to be in a oddly chipper mood. Uncharacteristically so. Come in, come in. Would you like anything? I mean, the tavern is open down the way, but I could conjure you a drink, glass of water, tea. I have work for you, of course, as well.
Oh yeah. I have a boot print on my face. Can you fix that?
I'm sorry. What did you say you have?
I have a boot print on my face.
From
a boot print.
From where you were boop?
No, boot. Boot.
Oh,
like
boot print. I thought you were saying boot
yeah.
print.
No, boot. Like an actual
Someone,
metal boot.
someone stepped on you. Are they still alive? And he goes over and just kind of prestidigitations away the boot print.
Yeah, they're my friend now. We
That's
had our
very
little
good.
yeah.
Bartholomew, what's wrong with you? Did you enslave? I mean, did you hire more adventurers today?
No, I just think I'm in for. You may have noticed my mood, my spirits are a bit up. I believe I'm in for a bit of a windfall. Yes. It's related to why I've called you here. I don't know how you entered into the shop. You know I have doors here all over the world. But let us walk out the main. And Bartholomew kind of steps from behind the counter. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to deliver those drinks. Did you want something?
Oh, I'll take a cold milk if you would.
Yes. It appears in your hand.
Thank you, Bartholomew.
I could go for some fresh water.
Fresh water it is. Appears in your hand.
Yeah. Could I have your tears? Can you just cry in a cup? That would be.
I'm too happy to cry, unfortunately, but here's some of Roger's. And he hands you a small glass of Roger's tears.
Thank you.
And he just kind of. Wait, what did you say, Farzu?
Everything.
Everything. He just hands you, not his bag, but he pulls out of his bag another bag and hands it over to you.
Thanks.
Not a problem. And as you look inside, it's just like jangling around with just bottles of like fine liquors and bottles of fine liquors and miscellaneous meads and ales and juices, and it's just a whole bunch of drinks and bottles. The glass kind of clinks around, but it doesn't make any noise when the bag is closed. It's not very heavy either. So Bartholomew says, "Very good. Let us step out. Have you ever been out the main door?" And he opens the door, and you just see outside where Bartholomew's shop is actually located in the world. Nearby, you can see the Last Hope Tavern, which also a lot of the times people just kind of walk into through random doors in the world. And over on the over around in the space, you can see that Bartholomew's shop is in the midst of a forest. It's kind of perched on the top of a small hill where there's a little clearing, but in the area, it's just a nice forested area. And Bartholomew says, kind of again, voice dripping, almost a little bit giddy. So here's what I wanted to show you. Look up there. Look up there. And he points, and you see up above a rainbow. Do you see it?
You want us to kill that?
Okay, I'll kill the rainbow.
No, you don't want to kill. You see, a rainbow. Have you ever seen a rainbow before? They're incredibly rare, but they are heralds of fortune, if you will.
That is the Guy Serpent granting blessing.
So you want us to make the rainbow go away? Okay.
I've heard if you get to the end of the rainbow, you find lots of gold if you kill a little leprechaun.
Ha ha ha! And he kind of pats you on the shoulder. He kind of pats you on the shoulder, Farzu. I knew I was right. I knew I was right to call you. Yes, you understand perfectly. If you get to the end of the rainbow, well, then you'll find a pot of gold. A pot of very old gold. Gold that each coin might be a bit more dense, might have even perhaps a bit more value than the average. Oh, it seems like we lost... Lance. Hold on a sec. Lance, did you hear what he was saying? Where'd you lose Elysia?
Came out right as we were about to walk through the door.
Oh, outside you saw a rainbow, and Bartholomew was talking about now how it leads to a pot of gold. As he says, yes, so if you follow it all the way to the end, as the legends say, and the legends are true, as I've collected several of them in the past years, although these days I am a bit tied up with my shop here, so I can't go out and do it myself, but you will go and I'll pay you your adventuring fees, and I will get you, you will get me that pot of gold to me. This can be done, correct?
Sure, but I just want to make sure this is clear, okay? So you want us to go get gold from a pot, bring it back to you, so you could give us fake money. Okay.
This is
Count on us, Bartholomew.
This is absolutely correct, yes.
But-
And he smiles a big, excited smile.
Why would you want gold? Gold is weak and bends easy and melts.
He looks at you, Othgarurt, for some time. Just a personal taste for it, I suppose. Yes.
Okay. You are a good friend. We'll bring you much gold.
Excellent. Now, as Farzu was astute enough to point out, there are, on occasion, and by on occasion I mean always, a particular type of creature that guards a creature might be rude, a fey being that guards their pot of gold, that uses their possession, in a manner of speaking, but I recommend you just follow the rainbow, and you will lead to the pot of gold, and, well, if you meet this creature, it is reasonably powerful, so, just look out for the leprechaun.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you guarding a pot of gold.
Oh, no, I do not recommend you ever go for my pot of gold. I don't keep it in a pot, mind you, but it is also guarded by someone who is, well, powerful.
Do leprechauns taste good?
No, but they say if you catch one, you'll get 3 wishes, so there's that.
Okay, bye-bye. See you later.
Very well, I just follow the rainbow, and his voice kind of fades in the distance as you begin walking down the path.
I just went 5 feet. Why'd you do that? That was weird.
And as you kind of turn around to look at him, as you say, I just went 5 feet, it looks like you're just kind of magicked farther away from him, and you see that he's standing in the distance, kind of like waving at you goodbye, as he's kind of magically pushed you out the door, so to speak, hurrying you along. And he says, and as you're just kind of retreating the sensor, he calls out one more time, "Wait, I forgot to mention! You have to get it before sun goes down completely in the sky. It's getting on in the day, so I suggest you make haste. You can see it is getting near twilight, and even from the time that you've been speaking to Bartholomew to now, the rainbow seems like it's faded ever so slightly.
Okay.
Let's get a move on.
All right, yeah. And you step out into the forest. You are walking for some time. It's a very nice forest that Bartholomew is within. Relatively unperturbed by any type of signs of civilization or society. The only real thing that exists in this forest are the occasional kind of like winding paths. And as you're looking up, kind of following this rainbow as it arcs through the sky, you can actually see unlike I mean, you've occasionally seen perhaps um, smaller rainbows appear just when, like, there's a misting of any water near you on a bright summer's day or anything like that. But this rainbow, it doesn't look like light. It almost looks like a solid kind of thick thing. The colors of it kind of vibrate and waver. Did we lose Elysia again? That's very odd. I don't know what keeps happening to you. But there are the rainbow, like I was describing. It looks near solid. It has these almost kind of like wavering pattern to it, and you see up in the sky where the rainbow all of a sudden just makes a sharp, direct turn downwards. As you're kind of following it down to that point, you see that here the rainbow just seems to start following a path like along the ground.
Othgarurt, when we catch this thing, what are you going to use your wish on?
I am going to wish that Bartholomew gets all of the Leprechaun's gold.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So you all, just keep moving your way through the forest. Occasionally, as you're following the rainbow, it moves. It moves through bushes. It makes kind of like sharp turns and like loop-de-loops in the sky. It's at height level. As you kind of like reach out and touch it, or do any of you do that? Would any of you be curious?
Yes,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
touch
Absolutely.
the sky serpent.
I would love to touch the.
As you touch it, it feels almost like liquidy, and it kind of like vibrates like water as you put your hand into it, and you see it like casts ripples through like the little section of it. As you pull it out, you see you have like a small handful dripping with this odd kind of like rainbow swirling colored liquid.
Oh, cool, 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 cool. I just want to grab it and put it in a bottle.
Elysia will dance through the rainbow for a bit.
All right, yeah. It all kind of like bubbles and doesn't like stick to anything. It doesn't kind of function a lot like. It seems kind of phobic of your clothes, like the opposite of hydrophilic. Is hydrophobic the word? As it kind of just like bounces and bounds and kind of flecks off your clothes, and as you like run through it and break it, it just kind of reforms and kind of recoalesces into itself. It's a very strange phenomenon that you're kind of experiencing this thing as you're moving forward.
I am very confused. I expected it to be scaly, like the great sky serpent of legend, the rainbow snake, that brings good fortune to all.
Yeah, not as many of the myths you've heard have kind of told you, Othgarurt, but maybe this is its own myth kind of unto itself. And the rainbow serpent is a different rainbow altogether. As you're kind of, tracing and following it along, all of a sudden something kind of breaks the tranquil calm of the forest in this rainbow, and you can hear something running towards you from within the woods. You hear the sound of breathing, heavy footfalls, what sounds like the clanking of metal. What do you all do?
Oh, I'm a flower. Don't look at me.
I hide behind Othgarurt.
All right, you pop behind Othgarurt's large lizard folk frame.
I vanish.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check, Farzu. All right.
Mine has advantage because we're in a forest. So, flower.
Okay. Great. As you're following along the path 22 and 18, and Elysia and Othgarurt, you guys are just kind of hanging out. Elysia, you're hiding behind Othgarurt, and Othgarurt, you're kind of staying out.
I would hide, but I do not want to leave Elysia on her own.
Okay. Elysia, make me a stealth check behind Othgarurt.
I have advantage from having a very large barbarian in front of me.
No, but you can make it because you have a very large barbarian in front of you.
I pray that no one sees me.
All right. And as you're kind of running around, you're just kind of standing out in the open Othgarurt. You see kind of coming crashing through the bushes, panting and huffing and heaving. He kind of turns over and looks at you, and as his face turns, it appears to be a human man, kind of tanned of skin. He's wearing kind of gleaming armor that spreads down his body, kind of a bright silver. He's carrying kind of a large sword at his back. You see he's got wounds, kind of scratches about his face, a few drips of blood. You see his nose is bleeding a bit as well. His hair looks ruffled up and matted. And his face looks like it had like some scars on it. He looks kind of like a seasoned warrior is the vibe that you get. And he kind of comes bounding into the clearing. His footfalls incredibly heavy. They make a large thump as they hit the ground. Doom, 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 disproportionate even to his size. And as he kind of leans in, he kind of turns up, leans over and looks at you while he's catching his breath, sees you, Othgarurt. It's a little bit startled. And he just looks. Who are you?
Hello, I am Othgarurt, Charirgix. I shall wave at you.
All right, you kind of wave. And wait, you say you shall? You say? Do you say I shall wave at you?
Yes,
And then you wave. Excellent. He goes again, cocks his head to the side a little curiously now, as he kind of takes a few steps forward. He seems to look over for you for a time, just kind of examining you. He kind of, and the one behind you?
I very cautiously poke a head out. Hi! And wave. You can call me Elysia.
You're following the rainbow.
That's us.
Yes.
I was after the pot of gold too. And the wishes. But the thing, he got away, he took it, he dragged the pot off into the woods. I've been chasing him. The creature is devilish. It's small, he seems to know these woods better than anyone ever could. He must have passed this way not too long ago.
I doubt he knows the woods as good as anybody. I'm a farmer.
I'm like trying to kill him, but I'm guessing my arrows are just plinking off his armor.
Oh, you're firing kind of longbow shots at him?
Yeah, but just keep the conversation going. So
no, well, you fire a longbow shot. The first one misses, and the second one, it goes and kind of crashes into him. And
or does he see me?
No, you have advantage. 19. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. The 20 would absolutely hit in that case. So yeah, a sneak attack. You hit him for 16 points of damage. The arrow kind of like sinks into his chest. He just kind of calls out, "Oh no, he's back!" And
it's totally him, not me.
And he kind of looks over, and at this point, I mean, he sees you just firing arrows at him from the forest.
Hey, I'm a flower. I was talking to you. That was rude.
Well, right now he's way more focused. He's not really paying much attention to you, as he's very focused on the person that's firing arrows at him from the woods. And he kind of calls over to the three of you now, if you're popping out, Sonny, and he goes, "We'll pursue him into the forest. Come, we'll share the gold. Agreed?"
Okay.
Sorry, no. Bartholomew must have all of gold.
Hey!
Don't worry, we can give you a recommendation to Bartholomew if you want to work there. It's got great benefit.
I am sure Bartholomew will pay you.
You'll
Bartholomew
never die.
for gold.
That's pretty nice.
He looks tired. He looks tired.
Yeah.
You have your owl what?
I wanted my owl to like harass him in the face and shoot him again.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of flying around him. You fire another arrow at him. He kind of knows where you are now, so he's kind of expecting it. But you have allies. Actually, these don't count as allies in range because they're not at all aggressive to him, and he doesn't see them as...
What about my owl?
That also does not count as a... that cannot threaten, as you don't have the ability to attack with it, so it can't...
I guess I don't get my sneak attack, but...
but the 9 still hits. Oh, that's true. The advantage just gives you sneak attack. So you take the what am I talking about? You take the he takes the 21. Another kind of heavy groan as he chases off in the woods after, and he goes. He looks over to the three of you. Fine, we'll discuss it when we get there. And he goes, "We have to chase down the leprechaun first." And he runs and runs over in the direction of Farzu, who's firing at him. What are you guys doing as you're seeing your ally just taking pot shots at this dude?
Please stop shooting the guy. Stop it. It's not nice.
Farzu, that's rude. Stop.
I am experiencing heavy disappointment.
I grumble and I just disappear.
This
Oh.
guy gave us valuable information. That's
But I have
valuable.
a cloak of-
He runs forward towards you in the woods, and he goes, and as he kind of gets up to you, he goes, "Your fell disguise shall not harm me!" And he takes out his sword and swings it at you.
Up in the trees?
Yep, up in the trees. Go ahead. Actually, well, he doesn't need to. Go ahead and roll for initiative at this point, actually.
Oh,
Sure.
can I choose to opt out? Like, I don't want to fight this guy.
Oh yeah,
It seems-
you can not roll. I mean, roll it
Also-
just so you can just roll it so you're in the order and can make to do an action when their time comes up. But this
Gee.
Jesus. You'll be feeling bad later.
whoop. Let me just. He is going to roll initiative. That was public, right? Great. And then he is going to swing at you with. He's going to swing at you
He's
with his
gonna wait
sword.
for his turn.
Oh no, you've already taken 2 attacks against him, and then you tried to stealth. So this is just his next. This is his response to your lack of stealth.
So,
initiative
wait,
will start
what?
from-
My lack of stealth. I got a 29.
You got a 10.
I have an advantage from my cloak of Elven Shine
Oh well,
in the forest.
say these things, Farco. Say these things.
I just thought I did. Alright, I'm sorry.
All right. All right. In that case, he's going to run off in your direction and ready an action to make an attack against you.
Alright. I'll stay hidden.
All right.
Stop! Stop attacking the guy.
he's
He
now
can be
kind of-
useful.
He's now kind of looking around the space, kind of nervously, trying to see where you're going to come from next as he moves to the general area where he thinks you are.
I stopped attacking him. End of combat.
All right. And he goes, "Where is the foul beast?"
Oh, he's over there. And I just point in a random direction.
And he kind of looks, and he goes, "You seem
I'll
to be
tap him on the
you seem to be
shoulder with-
talking to it. Do you know this creature?"
Oh,
Yeah, we're
no.
best friends. No, I don't really know him. I don't.
I'll pick his nose by mage hand.
He kind of like as the kind of thing appears by his nose, he just kind of swings wildly in the air, and nothing seems to come of it.
Oh, that's not the leprechaun. That's just
I guess that's not the
Farzu. Don't worry about him. He's just a bit anti.
How do I know that you're
He's-
not the leprechaun?
He attacked me with a bow. That's not a bit antisocial. That's crazy.
He's also
Yes,
a bit of
he
an
is
asshole.
crazy.
Could you please forgive him?
Yes, I suppose there's no time. Very well, come, follow me. And he begins just kind of running off into the woods.
I'll just
I
fire
don't
another
really
arrow.
trust this guy. He looks weird.
Onward ho!
I don't like his haircut. I don't trust him.
All right. You're going to fire another arrow.
Yeah, but like I don't have to.
Go.
Just scared, I guess.
You're not going to hit him intentionally. Okay. Yeah, you fire an arrow kind of nearby,
Oh,
and yeah, it's
I
good
didn't
things.
go to like that. I didn't actually.
Yeah. You just kind of fire the arrow on the ground near him, and he kind of looks in your direction and begins running off towards you again. The sun is continuing to go down in the sky. The rainbow is.
We
fading
really
more and
need
more.
to go, guys. Come on, let's go.
I vote the three
Follow
of us
the
continue
rainbow.
chasing the
That's-
rainbow.
Yeah, that's what
That's a
I'm
good idea.
Bye. And I keep following the rainbow.
Okay. You kind of continue moving off. Along the rainbow. What are you doing, Farzu?
Yeah, I'll just move over. Speed ahead.
Go ahead and make me another stealth check.
Can he catch up with me? Bonus action dash, action dash.
You do not know.
Alright. I'll just try to outrun him.
All right. In that case, you see him kind of like lagging behind in the forest behind you, as you just continue to you're just kind of continuing to run ahead of him, not really bothering to stealth much in the forest, and you see him just kind of slowly wait, creature, as he's kind of following after you as best he can, just lagging to keep up. Yeah, the rest of you all just kind of continue following the rainbow, and you hear kind of a voice over off to your left, that kind of calls out to you. Hello there.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. And yourself?
Pretty good. Who are you? Are you a nice guy? You seem like not a bad person.
I like to think that I am, yes. But apparently, the group of you are not. You just attacked that poor man walking through the forest. All he wanted
No.
was some gold.
I never
We did not
attacked
attack him. Our
anyone.
friend attacked him. He is not a good friend.
Friend is a strong word.
He's trying to steal somebody's gold. Wouldn't that make him a bad person?
Yeah, I
Well-
mean, stealing gold is bad. I mean, you seem like you don't. You wouldn't want to steal people's gold. That wouldn't be.
I would be inclined to agree with you on that count. No.
Have you ever had your gold stolen before? That sucks.
It feels very bad when one's gold is stolen.
Anyway, we are the local gold inspectors. I heard there's some gold at the end of the rainbow that needs inspecting.
Could you maybe just give me a little bit of gold, just a tiny bit? I don't want to take it. I just want to ask if you can give it to me. That would be nice.
Who are you? The four of you, by the way. And what are you doing? So what are you doing here? You said you're a gold inspector of some sort. Is that right?
I'm
Yes,
not a
there's
gold
some gold that
one.
needs
I'm a flower.
We're just keeping things up to date. Make sure, all the gold's in the right place.
Oh, yes,
The
yes.
quality of it has not finished.
That makes quite a bit of sense. Yes, a gold inspector. Why don't you go ahead and make a deception check?
Investigating.
We're actually in a bit of a rush. We should probably be on.
I never caught your names, by the way.
It's Mr. Gold Inspector.
Mr.
My
Gold
name's
Inspector,
Steve.
yes, got that.
Steve the flower. That's my name.
It's
Steve.
nice to meet you.
Steve the Flower, of course, and the two of you.
Elysia does a polite apology and is running on because we're short on time and I've already wasted a lot with Farzu's antics.
All right, you kind of continue onward through the forest, running, just kind of following the rainbow. And as you're kind of running, he kind of calls out, Othgarurt, are you just kind of moving with Elysia?
Yes. We have made a promise to our true friend Bartholomew. We must
Very well.
get him gold.
He's still there. Just kind of speaking to Farzu and Sunny.
I'll keep him stalled.
All right. Yeah, he's still there, just kind of talking to you, kind of chatting away. He goes, "Your friends are moving right up along the path. They seem to have abandoned you. Looks like they want all that gold for themselves." To Sunny and Farzu, what do you guys say?
I don't want any gold. I just want to make friends. And I was asking if you could maybe give me some. Being nice.
Oh,
I'm your friend. It's
absolutely. I would like to think that the two of us are friends.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would do to make friends with people. Yes.
Oh, yes, you would like to be friends as well. Well, great. So, And he just kind of looks at you. Shall we like play a game or something? Do something that friends do?
I can play rock paper scissors.
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
absolutely.
Let's play a game.
Absolutely.
That sounds fun.
And he begins to
Alright.
he kind of begins to engage the two of you in rock paper scissors.
Why don't
rock,
we
paper, scissors.
make some bets in this game, huh? Whoever wins gets all the other people's gold. How about that?
I more like to play games for fun. That's sort of my taste. But if that's what you want to do, we can make that arrangement. Shall we shake on it?
Sure, but first, here. Dex. There you go.
Oh, that's fine. And he kind of smiles at you.
I'll put my hand out.
You seem like you're a lot better at these tricks than I am, so I want to make it.
Oh no, that's completely understandable. And he kind of holds out. He kind of holds out his hand, and he goes, "All right then. Shall we begin?"
All right, rock.
He goes,
Paper.
"Oh wait, I'm sorry. Farzu. We need to shake on it first."
Wait, how did you know his name? I don't think he ever said his name.
Oh, I'm sorry. If my name is Irie, by the way. If we're going to do this proper, we need to make sure we have each other's names. Names are very
Oh,
important, you know. And he puts out his hand to shake, and you can see there's like some green light kind of coursing and moving around his fingers. And as he jumps down into the tree, you get a good look at this individual for the first time. He's halfling in size. He's been kind of covered up by the foliage a little bit. He's halfling in size. He wears a bright green top hat. He has a kind of a big bushy red beard. And he's kind of smoking out of a pipe. In his left hand, he carries an extremely short cane. It looks almost like a small wooden club made of a black wood. He wears buckled shoes as he looks up at you and kind of proffers his hand. Like I said, there's some kind of green sparks coming off of his fingertips as he kind of grins and smiles at you. And Othgarurt and Elysia, from where you're sort of running up ahead, he's kind of looking at you now, and as you're moving, you're just kind of running and following the rainbow. You've gotten well out of the sight at this point of Farzu and Sunny, and you kind of see sitting over on the tree, kind of leaning casually with his hand on his fist, this same figure. Just kind of seems to appear to your left, and he just calls out to you. Don't you have enough silver in your blood already? Do you need to really go stealing any gold, Elysia?
That's a good pun. We're not stealing the gold. We're on a quest for Bartholomew.
As you kind of continue to, I assume this is just while running?
Yep, right as we're passing them.
As you're kind of just running and working your way forward, following through the rainbow's kind of many loops and turns, you see he appears now, this time from the forest, and he goes, "You know, Othgarurt, all that gold ain't gonna buy you any better craftsmanship skills."
I know. It is not for me. It is for my good friend Bartholomew.
Now think about, and he just appears again kind of farther up ahead of you. Now think about the moral implications of what it is you're doing. You're taking something from me and giving it to someone who already has so much. Isn't that a bit of a crime?
Are you the Leprechaun?
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself properly. I know your names and you don't know mine. A lot of people call me a lot of things. My friends call me one thing, my enemies another. You know, there's a tanner over in Easttown calls me Gimbal Greatthrow. But you can call me Irie.
It's nice to meet you, Irie. I'm sorry about this, but it's the job.
I understand. You got to do what you got to do. But there's just one thing I'd like to tell you.
It's just one
as you
thing.
keep kind of running, he just kind of stops
I
and
will
watches
stop.
as you keep going, and he just goes,
I will stop.
and he looks you dead in the eye, and he holds your gaze, and he keeps on holding your gaze.
What do you wish to say?
Just one moment. He just keeps staring at you. It's gonna happen any minute now.
While we wait, do you mind settling something for me?
Oh, not at all. And he completely kind of drops his posture as you're now kind of standing there talking to him.
What do you taste like?
It'd be tough to say. A little bit of whiskey in there for sure. The kind of metallic tinge of gold, I would think. Some pipe smoke would be mixed in. Not an altogether pleasant taste, but not a bad one either if you're accustomed to such things.
Othgarurt, you can't just ask how they taste. That's rude.
Sorry, Mr. Leprechaun.
No, we should be on even footing. I know what lizard folk taste like, so. Back where you are, you were being proffered a handshake by this individual, and you could see some kind of green lightning and kind of sparks coming out of his hand as he was offering it to you, Farzu.
Are you related to Bartholomew?
Related to Bartholomew? No. I'm just I'm a very old individual like him, and you get to know everyone once you've been around for as long as I have. But related to Bartholomew, I wouldn't have anything to do with the man.
I'm getting the same vibes. Right. I cross my arms and I use my mage hand to shake his hand.
He kind of, the mage hand kind of shakes. You see his hand kind of flares a little bit green, and he looks at you. You can't make a pact with a mage hand. It's got to be flesh and blood. And we're coming to an agreement, right? Whoever wins this particular battle of rock and paper and scissors shall have the other's gold in its entirety.
Wait, hold on a second. Are you offering him a pact?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're thinking of the warlock thing, yeah?
Well, I mean, I already have a pact with the sun. I don't know if I could do 2 pacts at the same.
Oh, I'm not offering him power. I'm just offering him an agreement that will be enforced by a higher power.
There's no higher power than the sun.
So perhaps that's what enforces it then. What do you say? I guess as you contemplate this, because you seem reticent, perhaps wisely, further up in the forest, the two of you are just kind of standing there, and you go, and meanwhile, Irie's just looking at the two of you. I promise you, just any moment now. Any moment now. This is to Elysia and Othgarurt. He's just still standing there looking, just kind of looking around expectantly.
Okay. It seems a little rude to take all your gold, even if Bartholomew asked it. I know it's not as much as the pot must be, but here's 15 gold. It's my month's allowance. You can help start a new pot of gold with that.
You've really tickled my ribcage with that one. 15 gold pieces from the entire pot of gold. You have to be out of your... Never mind. Elysia, for you that was a great stretch, and I understand that this is all of the money you have from your allowance, and so for that, I appreciate the offer. But if you wish to give me the gold, I'll take it, but I make no promises about handing over the gold freeways. And if you just stay here just a bit longer, I think the portal will be closing soon anyway, so...
Fair enough. Don't think of it as me giving you that for the pot. That's just so, I know that you won't be totally dead. Come on, Othgarurt, we've got a job to do. Sorry, again.
Like I said, you wasted enough time as it is! And he's just kind of like shouting and chuckling a little bit as you guys continue to run off following the rainbow. Like I said, the portal will be closed by the time you get there.
I'll take your bet on that.
I shall pick up Elysia, and I shall start running.
All right, you begin just kind of booking it through the woods as quickly as you can. And as you do so, in the distance, you can see something kind of like towering on the horizon. You can see what looks like a great stone kind of, a great sort of stone just opening, a threshold of sorts, and it stretches up and around and kind of high up above, and there's kind of like a purple light swirling within it, and that light that seems to be powering it, like the swirling energy, kind of flickers for a moment, and you see the forest behind it, but then it kind of pops back up once more. The rainbow seems to lead directly into it, and you begin to sprint at this point forward.
There is no time. We must go there.
All right. Meanwhile, back with you, kind of Othgarurt and Sunny. The Leprechaun's offering you. I'm sorry, I said Othgarurt and Sunny. I meant to say Farzu and Sunny. The Leprechaun's offering you sort of a tantalizing handshake right now. Do you take it?
I don't trust your hands.
Do you take
They
it?
look all sharp and spiky and stuff. How about this?
It's not your problem now. I think you're getting to be a little bit too late.
Okay, just take my suggestion real quick.
What do you suggest?
I suggest no handshake necessary. We're good.
He kind of looks over at you, and he is going to make a wisdom save for starters. He has advantage on saving throws against magic.
Okay.
Da-da-ba-ba.
It's not magical, or it doesn't show up as magical.
No, I mean
Because-
it's like because he makes a wisdom save against spell effects. He has advantage on saves against them.
Yeah, that was the wig, by the way.
What? How does that work?
It was. Yeah. Here, I'll post.
Is it a non-magical effect that allows you to do this?
It's the powder one.
I think does it say that it casts the suggestion spell?
Here, you can read it.
You gain the persuasion skill additionally to cast the suggestion spell. Yeah, so it's still a spell that you're casting at him, so he still has advantage on it. So that is a 24.
Okay.
Because just magical effects, and he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Not so easy, Sonny. And it's fine, honestly. We don't have to play a game. We could just play for funsies." And he puts out his hands for rock paper scissors.
Okay.
Roll
Put down 2 golden.
2 golden
This
coins.
is all the gold I have. And then I shake his hand.
All you have is 2 gold coins? That's weird.
Um,
I mean, I got this big old check worth $1 million Bartholomew bucks or $1 million or something. You want that thing? I got this big old check. It's
oh no,
pretty
that's
nice.
worthless. That's for. What
But it's worth worth $1 million gold.
Isn't that like Bartholomew's fiat currency or something?
No. It says $1 million platinum right there on the check. Right
he
there.
Didn't even, he looks around and he goes, he didn't even endorse it. And he goes and clasps your hand.
Oh
and
yes, he did. I
uh,
see it. Right there. See?
he goes, "Listen, you're gonna have to get up earlier than that." And as he clasps your hand, Farzu, you see kind of a red and green symbol appear on the back of your hand. It appears to be in that of a clover. The same appears on the back of his hand, and now there's no cheating or wiggling out. And he goes, "Very well. Shall we begin? I didn't think I'd have to try in particularly hard. Go ahead and roll me, or actually, you can just tell me what you choose." And if you have any way to cheat, because his confidence implies that this dude is absolutely planning on cheating.
Scissors! And I poke him in the eyes.
And as you go to poke him in the eye, for a moment the world seems to kind of seems to distort. And right at the same time as he's going rock, paper, scissors, and he casts time stop. And as you kind of return, all of a sudden you go to poke him in the eye, and you just see he has his fist up in front of his hand, catching the scissors with it, and just kind of like blocking his eyes with his fist, and he just goes, "Looks like Rock wins. I know you only had 2 gold, but I did want it." And
Hold
your 2
on a
gold
second, wait a
disappears from
second.
your inventory.
Wait a second. Can you hold something for me, please? It would be
Oh, yeah.
really nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
he goes
here.
and reaches out his hand.
I take the can of oil and I just splash it all over, smack it all. Douse him in oil.
All right, you cover his hand in oil, and he kind of like, what is? Just oil? Just oil? And he looks kind of confused. So let me flash back. Elysia and Othgarurt. Where you are running kind of up ahead, you see the portal kind of like shimmering and flickering and closing. It's this huge, great stone kind of purple thing. You begin running towards it as it kind of fades and is kind of disappearing up in the distance. Othgarurt, I would like you to make me an athletics. This is going to be an athletics skill check. And Elysia, are you doing anything to like contribute and make his path through the heavily forested area easier as you follow this rainbow into it?
I cast guidance on him.
All right, Othgarurt, go ahead and make me an athletics check. If you would prefer to do Constitution, you can also use your Constitution, because this is you're kind of like sprinting and working your way through the forest.
Actually, instead of guidance, I'll enlarge him just to get those extra big steps.
If possible, I would like to
For sure.
channel my anger and rage to hasten myself.
I will allow it. This isn't, you're not technically making the attacks, it's a little bit outside of the normal effects of the spell, but I will say, with your rage, you're using your rage here to give you advantage on the check.
Yes.
So, you're made massive and you're just like plowing trees and things out of your way, and you become this like huge thing. You just kind of hear, Elysia, as you're getting near the ending spurt, Othgarurt just kind of howl out with a primal rage, and go ahead and make me your athletics check with advantage and add guidance.
I do not know the effects of guidance.
Sorry, you roll an extra d4 and tack it on top.
Guidance is also concentration. I don't think it's stack.
25. Okay. In that case, it was just a 22, which was enough anyway. But I just wanted to see the total because it was an outrageously high number. As you begin just sprinting through, like I said, just trees, bushes, everything. You're moving right along the path of the rainbow. In the distance, kind of behind you, you see kind of like holding out a hand to you. The leprechaun Irie appears once more behind you and kind of calls out, "No, don't!" And you go and kind of dive through the portal, Othgarurt.
I completely ignore him and dive through the portal.
All right. And as you do so, you crash through the portal. And he says, and you hear his voice behind you, which says, "No, don't. You shouldn't. Because it's not a portal, you dullard." And the illusory terrain around you fades, and you are now just this huge metal cage that was behind this illusory portal. Not far from you, you see the rainbow just kind of continues through the cage past to a distant gleaming pot of gold that is not terribly far away from you now, but it is well outside of your grasp in these solid steel bars of the cage that you are now in. He looks at you just kind of self-satisfied. "You fell for the old cage and a fake portal trick. Such beginners! It's like you've never gone after a pot of gold before."
I have a question. Is this cage anchored to the ground in any way?
The cage is not. It appears to be just a loose cage on the ground. It's like very solidly constructed.
Go through. Don't worry about it. I've got this. Charge to the pot of gold. I will recast, and this time twin spell, enlarge, reduce, and make us tiny, and just run through the cage. If I would know that
it would make you a size small, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't reduce you enough to get through the bars. They're designed to fit even like a halfling, which just moves you down one size category.
I don't do that.
Okay.
I wish to tumble the cage forward towards the gold.
And while you're working on that, we're gonna go back to you. Sonny, you just poured oil on this guy's hand.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What is this, oil?"
Yep. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You're afraid of some oil? Come on. I thought you were a great magical leprechaun or something. You can't be afraid of oil.
I'm I'm a great magical leprechaun. Doesn't mean I like having oil poured on my hand.
Don't worry about it. It'll only be for a second. Go on, play the game like you said. I mean, come on. You can't lose because of oil. You're too good for that.
I do have one question.
Oh, yes, what's that?
What happens to the gold once I lose?
I bet you can't beat him one more time. I bet you can't beat him one more time.
He's got nothing left to bet with.
Oh, but I do. So I bet you can't beat him one more time.
Where does the gold go?
Take my bet.
Where does the gold go? Well, into my pot.
Take my bet. Come on. Do it.
And he looks at you for a while.
Is it actually like in his palm, or?
Oh, the gold? It goes into his palm, and then he just kind of does like a twist of the fingers, and it just seems to disappear as the coin rolls in his hand.
Please, come on. Do it. Okay, fine. I guess you don't want this 15 gold, and I just
Ait.
go up.
Well...
No. You don't want it. It's too good for you.
We can make an agreement.
No. I don't want to make an agreement. You made an agreement with him. I bet you can't beat him one more time. No. You're not gonna. Okay, fine. I'll just keep this gold.
No, I'm a sporting sort. We could work something out, perhaps.
I just told you what I want, and you're saying no. So I'm good. No.
No, I'm saying yes,
No.
absolutely.
No.
I'm leaving.
All right, Farzu, do you follow the rainbow?
I cast locate objects on my boat.
All right. You sense your object far in the distance. It's a long way away, but you begin kind of like sprinting away in the direction of it, I assume?
After they don't notice, like a good. So, yeah.
All right. And he goes, as you're going, Irie just kind of goes, "You'll never make it in time, but bye." And he looks down to you. "No, we have a deal. If you want to do it, I'm a sporting gent.
So you're gonna take my deal. You're gonna bet all my gold versus all the gold you have in your pot.
A man who
that
isn't
you can't beat him.
willing to wager is all.
But that's my wager. I bet all my gold versus all the gold in your pot. So if you lose, you give me all the gold in your pot, and I give you all my gold. And that's my wager that you can't beat him one more time."
Very well, but it does require the implicit consent of our
Nope.
friend there, who's run away into the distance.
Oh, well, don't worry, he'll be back.
All right. Well, perhaps we can discuss it when he comes back then. Now, tell me. I'll tell you this. Let me even give you a hint. There's a very short window left, and it's getting very near to dark. The rainbow has faded immensely. Even you, who are very close to it, Farzu, you're booking it. You have your bonus action to run, and you're moving as quick as you possibly can. But you can tell that the rainbow is like on its last legs, and feeling it in the distance. You're not sure at this point if you're even going to get there in time at all. He looks to you, Sonny, and he just kind of says, "I've stalled you for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
We can start off with another agreement." And he kind of puts his hand out, and you see the green glow again. "If you agree not to go after the gold anymore, because it's hopeless, I'll bring you there, and we can watch from a safe distance."
No, I'm good. My bet was you can't beat. I bet you all the gold in your pot right now that you can't beat him. Oh, actually, you can't beat him in a thing. And if you don't take my gold, or you don't take my bet, then you don't get any gold. So
Listen,
take my bet
friend.
right now. Take it now, or no
go
bet.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Could I, on my way there, cast Long Strider?
Yep. No, that'll definitely help you a lot. Make a persuasion check. Okay, 12. He looks at you and he goes, "Fine then. You don't even want to come watch?"
Hold, don't I get advantage on? I think
From what thing?
the powdered wig.
From the
Hold on.
powdered wig. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, you gain expertise, which means
Okay,
you add,
expertise.
double
I
your
thought it was
proficiency
advantage.
bonus.
Okay, no problem.
So what does that put you to?
That puts me to
Oh, is that you already have that marked like that?
no. Okay.
So it's an extra 3 on top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 15.
Mhm.
He kind of considers it for a while. He really seems to turn it over in his mind. But it doesn't seem quite enough to convince this fella. and he kind of looks at you. This is a very old and very wise individual. And he looks, listen, my friend. As we say in the drifting industry, game recognized game. I love what you're putting out. I love what you're putting out here. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to decline.
Okay, no problem. How about this? Fine. Since we're so good, we're good friends now. How about this? You just give me 1 piece of gold. Just 1. That's all I ask.
No.
As a friend.
You've intrigued me. He flicks you a golden coin. It lands in your hand, in your leaf or your hand, and as it hits, it's heavy, it's weighty. It feels a lot more substantial than any gold coin that you've ever held before.
Thank you, friend. Oh, by the way, here's your parting gift. As a firebolt on his hand.
Ooh, 22! You throw a firebolt at his hands, and he goes, ah! Ah! And he just starts kind of like shaking his oil-covered hand as the firebolt cracks into it. And at this point, he just, it's just the forest, the sound of chirping birds, and just, oh god! He blows on it a few times, like sticks it into the dirt. Sticks it into the dirt and kind of like knocks it off and gets the flames off, and he looks over at you. Goodbye, friend. And with that, he disappears. And his attentions are entirely focused. I'll let you know even when you arrive, Farzu, but his intentions are now entirely focused on you, Othgarurt. As he's chuckling at you guys in the cage, laughing at how you're defeated right before your final destination. You can see the rainbow kind of path flickering before you, and with it, the gold pot. The pot is kind of a solid black, and you can see the gold heaping out of it. The golden pot appears to be fading a little bit. It's becoming like partially transparent. There's not a lot of time left, it would seem. How big are what?
How big are the gaps of the cage between the bars?
Only about an inch or so.
Ooh, not big enough to put legs through.
It's a tight fit. It's a nicely designed cage. Like I said, the beams are very solid metal, like square in their shape. But Othgarurt, you said you're going to start rolling this cage like a hamster.
Yes.
Like the world's most muscular hamster. A muscle hamster, if you will. I need you to make me a strength check. And you are, I think, still enlarged at this point. So you would have advantage. It's a pretty big cage. It's designed to hold people of like many different sizes. So go ahead and make me, or athletics, if this would be with advantage.
Very well.
All right. You begin kind of pushing forward, and Irie's there just kind of laughing. And then as he sees you just kind of flex, he kind of stops, kind of, what in God's name? As you begin just kind of, the cage kind of crashes over at his side, and you see now in his eyes something you haven't seen. He's been all confidence and swagger up to this point, but now you see the slightest touch of panic. And he goes, now don't you tempt me. I'm going to do anything I can to stop you, and I assure you that anything I can do is greater than anything you can do. Don't make me mad. Do you just keep going?
I am stronger than you.
Go ahead and make me another athletics check. You're about 5 of these away from the cage. All right, yeah, you push it another one. It crashes down onto the ground. You only have 4 left. One last time! I'm warning you!
Othgarurt, stronger than Leprechaun.
You just kind of, you're struggling, you're getting a little bit tired, but you kind of barely push through. Another roll, 3 more to go. And he looks at you and he goes, all right. Let's dance. And he looks at you and he pulls out kind of a small pipe, and he begins to play on it, a maddening kind of melody as he looks over at you. And Othgarurt, you kind of hear this kind of enchanting sound coming from his pipe, and you begin to you begin to feel the rhythm just kind of like in your heart. You're just kind of like, your heart starts to pound and your feet instinctively start to tap and to move in place as he's casted Otto's irresistible dance upon you. You watch, Elysia, as your dear friend Othgarurt begins to just tap and shuffle in place. A very live and lively Irish step dance jig. The Leprechaun continues to kind of stare. And he's like focused very intently on the spell at this point, and is just kind of staring angrily at Othgarurt. Farzu, you are at this point, as you've just been like sprinting to book it afterwards. You are kind of working your way forward and kind of attempting to catch up, but you're a couple rounds away from arriving. But I'd like you to roll for initiative at this point. As everyone, I would like you to roll initiative. Although Sonny, you are outside of the field as he as you declined his offer for you to bring him there. And he will roll as well. All right. In that case, Sonny, what are you doing back in the forest? You got your one hefty gold coin. It's very beautiful. Like I said, you can feel the weight of it, and you can see it just has like a clover kind of carved into it on one side. And on the other side, it appears to have his face on it.
That's awesome. I'm gonna put it in my sack. Just continue walking down, heading towards Bartholomew's shop. Just in case nobody else comes back with gold, at least I have one.
All right, excellent. In that case, that's going to bring us to Farzu. You're running to get up onto the scene. You see kind of like in the distance as you were running, you see like the big weird portal just kind of like disappear. Even though it was kind of like, it was flickering, like it was on the verge, but then it just vanishes. Othgarurt, you are currently dancing. What do you do? Are you gonna try and regain control over your body, or are you gonna do something else? Oh, my music stopped. Whoops.
Can I continue pushing forward while keeping to the rhythm of the dance?
Unfortunately, you have no move. You have no forward momentum. You can like make an attack, or you can do, something along those lines. But you'd have to do it from in place, so you wouldn't be able to push in your current state.
Then I shall try to regain control of myself.
All right. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. 11 is not going to do it. This guy is a very powerful caster. That is going to, in that case, bring us to Farzu. You're booking it. You're trying to catch up. All right, that was already. Farzu already went. Elysia.
Oh, did I already go?
Oh no, he's actually going to go. Now he kind of looks over at you, Elysia, and we call this one fairy fire. And he kind of holds out in his hand and whips it your way. It does not appear to be the fairy fire spell. It just looks like he's throwing a firebolt at you. Oh, that did not properly scale up with level. That's an extra 14.
Oh, jeez.
That's 18 points of damage as he tosses a very powerful firebolt at you within the cage. You had half cover because of the cage's bars, but it just kind of seeps through. You can see the cage's bars grow kind of red hot from the intensity of the flame. The turn is yours, Elysia. What do you wish to do? Oh wait, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for your enlarge.
Ooh, that's true. There we go.
You succeed. You maintain on the concentration. Okay, what do you do?
How far away is he from the cage?
Right now, he was just about 30 feet back, kind of watching from like the side of this distance.
Oh man, you just said the absolute magic word where this isn't going to do what I was hoping it was going to. The bars are red hot, right?
The ones that it just kind of, where the firebolt just passed through? Yeah, absolutely.
I will climb up as well as I can to get to Othgarurt. Bend the bars! I'll make sure you don't have to hear any of his other stuff. And I am going to fireball the already hot bars and hope Othgarurt can sunder them on his next turn.
Alright, as you throw the fireball, you think that doing this will put them in the space that you need it to be to do what you're going to do what you want to do, but that fire is gonna also affect Othgarurt. I assume you're taking cover behind him, but Othgarurt will have to make the save against that as well.
I can't have it.
It's the cage is not big enough because the radius of fireballs is huge. You can get like total. Actually, no, you have to save too because it wraps around cover. So even hiding behind Othgarurt wouldn't do anything for you with fireballs specifically. Do you want to risk it?
I will risk it. I will apologize to Othgarurt as I cast Fireball.
All right, Othgarurt, you have disadvantage on the dexterity saving throw because of the auto's irresistible dance, but you have advantage because of your instinct, so make a flat one, and Elysia, make a flat one.
Rip.
Does that bring you down?
That does bring me down, but it's hot, and a slightly smaller Othgarurt will probably, hopefully, break out.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us around to the top of initiative. Sonny, you're just marching your way back to Bartholomew's shop, coin in hand. Elysia, you fall as you sacrificed yourself for this huge explosion within the cage. Farzu, you at the end of this turn, you walk into the clearing.
I need you to tell me something and see if this will work.
Okay.
So, I want to cast Unseen Servant at the pot and throw the bag of drinks that Bartholomew gave me and have him scoop up people. Would that work?
You can order your Unseen Servant to do that. But when you arrive, you arrive in the clearing.
Would have been just better.
At the end of this turn, but the pot is like kind of across the other side of the clearing. What's the range on Unseen Servant?
60 feet.
Okay, so the Unseen Servant would be very close to it. The clearing's like, the clearing's about 100 feet in length, so you could get most of the way there. So on your next round, you would probably be able to do that. Whether or not it would work, I mean, you could have him do the bag and tell him to do that. You don't know how efficient it will be, but it would work, quote unquote.
How big is the pot, too?
Yeah, so if you want to try that on your next turn, you can.
Well, how big is the pot?
Oh, the pot? It's like kind of medium in size. It's I know that's a vague description. It takes up like a space. It's about 3 feet in diameter.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh, seriously? Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Alright, I have a plan. Last resort.
Okay, so next round, you will do whatever this thing is, which brings us to Elysia. I need you to make a death save.
Wait.
Natural 20.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped Othgarurt. That's my mistake. Othgarurt, what is your
I
plan?
believe I have one last healing potion on me.
Are you going to reach down? That's something you absolutely can do, even in your dance.
Yes, I am going to feed Elysia the healing potion.
As an action, you kind of reach down. I'm assuming you're in a frenzied rage, right?
No, a regular rage.
Oh, this is a regular rage. Okay. So as an action, you kind of reach down and feed the healing potion to Elysia, who suddenly kind of awakens, and you feel the life force course through you. Anything else on your turn? You have a bonus action, Othgarurt.
Yes, I shall use Hungry Jaws.
Are you just gonna bite the burning cage?
There is no pain too great for success.
Make me an attack roll. Actually, you don't even need to make an attack roll for this. It just works because the cage is there, and you've already done the incredible, hefty work of valuable, and the bars kind of, bend and open up to your jaw, and you just kind of rip them away and pull to the side, and now there's just a huge hole in the side of the cage. And as you do this, biting down on molten hot metal, God, I don't know what this would be, but I'm going to arbitrarily pick. You take this wasn't part of what I expected to happen. You take 16 points of fire damage as you just literally eat molten metal. I think that's all on your turn? Othgarurt?
Sorry. Yes, it is. I am uncertain if Hungry Jaws temporary hit points applies before or after this.
You know, I don't know if it does, but I guess it just does, because that's how the mechanic works, but logically, I don't know how biting a... I don't know if biting a door would give you temporary hit points, but we'll say, it works, we'll say it works whichever way you want to rule it. We'll say it works after, so you have the temporary hit points now.
Rage on top of rage.
Mind over matter.
Yes, mind over matter. Elysia, the turn is yours. There's an opening in the cage big enough for you to... actually, I'm sorry, the turn is not yours yet. The turn belongs to Irie, who is going to... he's going to look at you, and he's going to break concentration on his... he's going to break concentration on his... Auto's Irresistible Dance. All of a sudden, you feel yourself fine. You're able to just kind of step comfortably and move in the space, Othgarurt, as your feet just find a natural rest. But then he looks... You're out of time! You won't get it! I need you all to make me wisdom saving throws, and that includes you, Farzu. Where out of the corner of his eye, with his true sight, he sees you moving now into the space. I need all of you to...
I'm all the way out of
Oh, no, not you. You're good.
I'm just gonna say right now that I'm gonna take an 18 instead of a 13.
And an 18 is enough to save. Just barely, actually, as he casts a third level. I'm sorry, not a third level, a 5th level hold person trying to target all of you. Oh wait, the humanoids have to... I messed up. The humanoids have to be within 30 feet of each other. That means they cannot actually target you, Farzu, so you're also totally fine. As he kind of like, curses! And it moves now to your turn, Elysia.
You were so close! Don't worry, Irie. You'll get a new pot soon! I am going to activate my Radiant Soul and fly through the hole and just move my glorious 30 feet of movement towards the pot.
All right. You are right at the precipice of the pot.
I bonus action will pick up a single gold piece to begin putting it in the bag of this weird invisible entity holding a bag.
You still have an action. For one thing, you've flown over to here, but 30 feet wasn't quite enough to get you there. Like, I'm saying you need to take a couple more steps.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's my mistake. Are you gonna do that?
Or
do you have something you want to do with your action?
Unless we're going with the new thing I thought I heard, or at least activating the Azamar abilities as an act.
Oh, my mistake. All right, so you're really close to it, but not quite there. And Irie's just looking with fury in his eyes. You can see literal kind of like flames seeming to come out of the space where his eyes are. As we move to the top of the initiative, Sunny, coin flips, a step in the right direction. Bartholomew's house looms on the horizon as you walk satisfiedly towards it. Bartholomew's kind of like waving to you, Sunny, as you come up. Sunny, I trust everything went well.
Yep, here's all the gold. And I hand him the one gold piece.
And he looks down at it. Confused.
Wait, my turn.
Where's my Bartholomew box? Hand it over. Right now, come on.
He looks down at... I don't know if this is... and then that's that sentence is where we move to Farzu. Farzu, what do you do?
Alright, so would the plan work if, like, I got there and could I scoop up all the gold? Or would it take more than one action to, like, take all the gold?
I mean, the pot is heaping over with gold. You'd have to, like... If you wanted to, like, get all of it in one go, you'd probably have to, like, pour it out, and the rainbow is on the precipice of fading.
Could I pour it into the bag, and would that work?
You can try.
Alright, let's try something. I run over to the pot.
Alright, you're on the other side of the clearing, so it's 100 feet to the pot from where you are. Can you make it there?
With the bonus 10 feet and dash, I think so.
So what's it, 40 feet? it would probably have to use all of your action economy, move, action, and bonus to be up near it.
Wait, I need to see if I can use this item. Oh, I'm 20 feet away because I need an action.
All right, so you bonus action and you move, and you're 20 feet away from the pot. You see Elysia.
It's 100 feet, right?
Yeah, 100 feet.
And I can cast Unseen Servant for 60 feet. So if I move 40, cast Unseen Servant as an action. Could this item be used? If it takes an action by the Unseen Servant?
Put Unseen Servant up. Well, are you casting? So for starters, are you going to do that? Is that your plan?
It's the last thing I can do.
Okay, yeah. So you run up to it as close as you can. You summon the Unseen Servant right up next to the pot. Put Unseen Servant up for me, because that just matters when it takes its initiative. If it acts when you summon it, or if it acts, in its own initiative that it rolls, or so you have to command the Unseen Servant to do something as a bonus action, so you can't use it right now.
No, I would have a bonus action, because I would take my action to cast it down 40 feet away with my normal movement, because
Oh, awesome! Yep, I see the economy that you're putting out. So you run up...
And then I use my bonus action to command it to use...
Move 15 feet and interact with an object, in this case, the pot.
Alright. And, I'll be like, pointing at the... This is my last resort! I'm not stealing your gold! Because it never existed in the first place! And then I cast item 404 in the pot pool.
Item 404, unfortunately, as you go and attempt to item 404 it with the Unseen Servant. And the pot just kind of flickers for a moment, and you see it kind of like bend and curve, and Irie looks kind of like panicked and scared, and then you see it moves back into its normal shape, as unfortunately this is a magical item. The pot is absolutely a magical item. And the item 404 fails. Which I think is all for your turn, which brings us to the top of the, wait, no, that wasn't the top. Othgarurt, you're in a cage.
Yes, I am. I also cannot move.
Oh, yeah, you're held. Make a wisdom save. Oh, rough. Unfortunately, you're not quite able to pull it off. At this point, he's in a bit of a panic because he sees two threats about to reach the pot, but you also see that the rainbow is just about to run out. So you see him kind of run over to you, Elysia. And he kind of takes out that little club, and he's just going to fucking swing at you with his shillelagh. That's a 15.
That puts me exactly at -1.
He just runs over, and you see as Elysia's flying for the pot, he just brains Elysia right on the head, and Elysia just crumbles out of the sky. And he now takes one step backwards towards the pot. He spins the shillelagh a couple times. The rainbow is right on the verge of its ending. He looks to you, Farzu, with just, come on then, show me what you got! And that's going to bring us next in initiative to Elysia. I need you to make me a death save.
I'm feeling that nat 20 hype. Nope, I'm not. Never mind, that was...
Unfortunately not. That is going to bring us then to Sunny. It is Sunny, and then it's Othgarurt. Othgarurt, wisdom save. Or actually, it would be Farzu first, but just for the sake of it, do the wisdom save.
Very well.
Alright, Farzu. You are facing down this leprechaun. It looks like it is now or never, as the rainbow is about to fade. What do you do?
Can the Unseen Servant just stuff it in a bag?
You're gonna command the Unseen Servant to just kind of put gold in the bag?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, the Unseen Servant, you see it kind of take up some gold, and As it kind of goes to grab onto the gold, you see it seems to just fall from the unseen servant's grasp, and it can't seem to get a firm touch on the gold. It rattles it a little bit on the ground, and then Irie just kind of looks up at you as you use your bonus action to command it. Irie just kind of looks up at you and he goes, "My gold can only be touched by the hands of flesh, and of mortal men, and of course myself." He puts his arms to his side and is holding them outwards, like he's just interposing himself between you and the pot. That's your bonus action, though. It seems to have limited magic immunity.
Fuck! I shoot him.
You're just gonna shoot at him?
Yo, man, what?
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right. Can't wait.
Oh, the longbow arrow in this moment, it fires kind of free past him. It goes towards his face, and you see the shillelagh just whip out to the side and kind of crack the arrow in the air. He looks at you. Anything else?
I'll just move closer to him.
All right.
And spit in his face.
All right, yeah, you kind of do that, and he goes, "I like the spirit." He looks now. Shit, that's his turn. On his turn, he's going to just kind of on his turn he kind of reaches up and goes to swing the shillelagh at you, Farzu. He takes a couple of quick steps forward, and goes to rear it back, and then
I T-pose like a man.
As he goes to strike you, it stops just an inch in front of your face, and he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, look at that!" And the rainbow at his side vanishes, and with it, so does the pot of gold. You were very close, I'll tell you that. Very close. But you're 1,000 years too early to deal with me. And he smiles. And again, well, need not. And he kind of tips his hat to each of you, and he disappears. And you are left in the space. The cage still rests there, but the pot of gold is gone, the rainbow is gone, and night has fallen over the scene. Elysia, you are woken up in time. And eventually you kind of work your way back to Bartholomew's shop. But therein lies Sonny. You're kind of speaking to Bartholomew at this point. You have your kind of 1 gold coin out in front of you. I don't know if that's really all the gold that he had.
Well, you asked for leprechaun gold. I have leprechaun gold.
He has he has the whole pot. I mean, it's he had a whole big pot.
Well, he was poor today. That's how it happened. So
Can I still sense where the gold is, or is that not?
The gold is no longer within range of the locate object. It seems to have the moment has passed. He goes, I mean, I will take the coin, but I'll take the coin, but I don't think a payment is appropriate for this.
Fine, no deal. I'll take the coin. Thank you. Bye.
No, wait. Fine, we have a deal. He just kind of puts his head down. He says, appropriate payment for appropriate work. And he kind of agrees to hand you over your 100 Bartholomew bucks, or I'm sorry, your 200 Bartholomew bucks for the coin. And as you kind of work your way back to the shop, Sonny's already kind of there, and you guys kind of catch the tail end of what was, I imagine, a very long and drawn out kind of bargaining session between the two of them. And Bartholomew kind of looks over the group of you. Things do not appear to have worked out in particularly well today. That is going to happen from time to time when you're dealing with an archfey such as a leprechaun, but, well, here's your pay. And Bartholomew, whose spirits were high, now looks a bit sad. He goes, do you want to buy anything, any of you? Do you want to shop?
Oh, by the way, I would like to shop, but there's one thing I want. Can you cry in this class for me, please? That would be great.
Bartholomew says,
You gotta go.
I don't know if I really want to. And you see a tear begin to roll down his cheek, and he goes, fine, and he hands you a tear. You have one of Bartholomew's tears.